Hi, BK. It's been 3 years and 1 month since Music Train. How did that even happen?
Wow, I sort of just can't imagine how this thing came so far. Maybe the train thing sort of really work, the
I
train.
mean, you mentioned, a show called Music Train, and I didn't really know what you had in store when we were on Connect.Club, writing songs on the spot and then minting them on the blockchain as you did. We've got, I don't know, 12 episodes, but there's 12 original, one of a kind, written on the spot songs with words from our guests. That was your idea. So you conceptualized the show. So I want to ask you a question. Did you know that Music Train was going to get to 7 seasons?
Um, I at the time it was, I create brands just at a snap of a finger, and I thought having a name for something that we started would be fun. So I thought a train is something that is automotive that moved, and
Y-
music train is something that I think it will keep going. And I'm
yes.
glad, it did moved. I
Yeah,
remember when you were on an actual train, sort of taking a video, a promo video. Did you?
yes, I did. I took you were like, why don't you take a promo of a train on the train? The train thing is working. I mean, the Universal Music Anthem Song Contest, which just happened on X a few months ago, you know, that kind of is a music train theme. We found people, I was reached out to by the composer to create a song that he wanted from his composition. He asked me, will you please make my dream come true and put my music, bring it to life? And then now it turned into a competition, and he's a truck driver by trade, but he's a composer by his heart. And we found winners. The winner of that contest, Yisa from the Philippines, and Joe Nix and Asher Nix and Danger Devin Ebeber sang on the song. All these people are singing on the song. What is going on? Music Train is taking over the world.
Amazing. Well, I hope this magic sort of keeps spreading. I think we started with a very small vision of just keeping the music going, featuring all the musicians. That is, giving them a safe space to
Yeah.
keep featuring themselves. I mean, we are small and we could be small, but we can keep going, and one day we'll, yeah.
You've always been an innovator and an inspirer. I know that your story started a long time ago with, you mentioned being able to create a brand at the snap of the finger. You're an amazing artistic content creator. You're an artistic director. I mean, you so oftentimes, I think just in a presentation with, let's say, the mastermind artist Teguh Ostenrik out of Indonesia or Malaysia, who creates coral replicating structures, at the bottom of the Jakarta Sea to replicate coral. I mean, people like this, people like these fashion designers who are implementing blockchain and clothing. I mean, how did you start your ride on this train of life? Like your initial business was real estate, correct? Real estate?
Real estate, yeah.
Yeah, so didn't you build like some like Disney, like Disney World theme parks or something like that in Singapore?
Yeah, I was involved in Universal Studio, a few of
Wow.
the rides. One of them is a George Lucas FX Theater. Yeah, that was one of my first project that I involved in a theme park, and then subsequently in China Disneyland projects, and then part of it, and then followed by a theme park in Guangzhou, China.
And
Yeah,
you take the train a lot.
yeah.
I know this because sometimes we talk and you're on the train and I'm like, "Are you on the train?" You're like, "Well, yeah, I'm on the train."
Well, I started taking my first experience on a rail train was when I was 8 years old, and I took
Oh.
the train alone from
At
Singapore.
8?
Yeah, I from Singapore to Malaysia. I took the train alone to a town where my dad used to live.
Oh.
About maybe that train is like 6 7 hours. Yeah,
Wow. And I know you recently your father passed. I'm sorry. That must be hard not to have your dad. I know your dad is with you forever though because he was a great man. You're a great man. I think you even said that in the hospital he was teaching all the nurses and all the staff wanted to just be around him because he had this wealth of knowledge and just inspiration. Like your father just inspired you, you know, and you can tell that because you inspire me and everybody that meets you. You kind of get them ignited. Like, what are you doing? How are you going to make your dream happen? What are you going to, you got to start now. Like, don't, like, if you don't start now, like, where is it?
Well, I'm glad you understand me, but not everybody sort of get it because if you ask me when I started sort of community building and creative or creating something, I recall I started as young as I was 6.5 years old.
Oh, I'd love to hear more. Tell me more.
I built I remember I built my first community at about 7 years old. I mean, here we started school at about supposed to be 7 years old, but because I born in December, so I have a head start. So I'm probably the youngest student in my class
Mhm.
because I'm born in December, and being at that time, we still have a bit of a so gangster gang, forming a gang kind of a feel. So
Mm.
maybe 10, 20 of the classmates sort of come together. And when we decided to come together, I remember drawing a membership card on the card, and I drew the logo and gave the name of the community. And then we sort of,
That's
everybody, yeah.
that's
1971.
that's so cute.
1971. Were you born
Building
then?
dreams. Building, no, I wasn't born in then. No. Building dreams since 1971. Coach BK Hahn, where can people find you? Wait, you're everywhere. You're on Instagram, you're on X, you're on Facebook.
Well, in Web3, you can find me on Twitter, X, BK0028 HAN.
Okay, right there, guys, right there. And you had, the idea to do the show AI-tainment. We got through season 1. I went for a season 2. We only have that first episode, but I'm hoping that we can launch that because there's so much to talk about in AI. It's just
Yeah,
insane.
yeah.
What are your go-to apps for AI?
Oh, I'm coaching for the last almost 2 years now on AI since the open source AI came about. I still remember 2022, sometime late 2022, I started my first AI training class.
I remember
Uh,
when you told me about ChatGPT before I heard it from anyone else, and I was like, "What?" And I went and I looked, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing!" I told my family. I sent them the link. I said, "You guys, check this out." Okay, go ahead. Tell me more. So people can sign up to learn about the trends, what's going on, the next thing with
yeah,
you.
I started a community about, just about the time when ChatGPT came about. It's called AI Hustle.
Nice.
So, and then I started a series of training program called I Am AI. So I've conducted like 27 session of such class. It used to be a full one whole day kind of a training
Like,
workshop, and
yeah,
then I sort of compact it down to 4 hours. So you can have, I do it on the weekend. So it's either on a Saturday or on a Sunday, and
cool.
then on day night, I would do 1 to 2 hours kind of a focus AI, how to write using AI, how to
Mm-hmm.
create music using AI, how to create images,
Mm-hmm.
amazing just using AI, and then almost coming to a year now. Yeah, by next month should be a year. Is how to automate your social media. So yeah.
That's the tricky part. I'm interested in that, the automation of the social media, only because the organic part of it, I want it to be organic. So I need to take that class myself. I'm a little busy. I've been a little busy, BK.
And we all been busy. I've been busy
Yeah.
too. Other than the class I've been doing, and I do a lot of collaborations. Also appointed as a brand consultant for some smaller companies or company that want to do a revamp, as far as from Indonesia and Malaysia and Philippines as well.
What's the
So
number one thing that holds people back from moving forward, would you say?
I think that all of us, including myself, we have some kind of fear, just as early as when we heard about Connect.Club. And then, the first time I got into Connect.Club, it's like, oh, wow,
Mm.
how am I going to speak? It's like a bunch of people that's out there.
Right.
And then,
All over the world that we don't know. Yeah.
and actually, it was 31st March that year when I got to Connect.Club. I still remember it was somebody from Canada, a friend from Canada that I got to know, introduced me to Connect.Club, and
Interesting.
then it was fear again when I was asked about NFT. So say, oh my God, I have to learn about NFT, and I asked around at that time, like in the whole entire Asia, there's probably one person knew how to mint an NFT. And I asked him, and he's like, it's BK. It's going to be too complex. I think you better not ask about it. And
Really? And you were
I,
like, give it to me.
oh, I really got pissed off. I didn't tell you about it. I got pissed off, and I decided to learn it on my own
Oh my
because I have a bunch
goodness.
of people who ask me, BK, you got to teach us NFTs. So I have
Yeah.
to learn it. That's why I mean, I'm not saying that I'm super, but I'm probably the fastest minter on NFTs at a time.
And I have experience with you on that end. Everybody, if you didn't know, BK and I met. It was a whirlwind. I had to find out more. Who is this gentleman? Who is this man with this interesting Egyptian looking like blue PFP? You should just go to, show them right now what I'm talking about. There it is. I kept seeing that and I was like, who is that? Who is that? Who is that? One day he spoke and said, hello, I'm Coach BK Han. I want to talk to you about MetaMask and NFTs. And I was like, what? And
Sounds
then I was like, what?
sounds like a scammer.
Yeah, no, I was texting you. I was like, I don't know how to open up a wallet. I don't you the greatest thing you did for me was you let me figure it out on my own. You're like, if you really want to know, you're gonna go ahead and do it. If somebody got just in the beginning, got the juices flowing, you want to know about Web3, you want to know about blockchain technology, you want to know how to create mint something on the blockchain. It could be anything, guys. You can literally put your family tree on there, which is a good idea because we want things to continue to exist for legacy purposes for our family. You want that conversation that you had with your grandmother or your father or your cousin or your daughter's first picture or whatever it is, music, anything. You can mint it, you can create it on the blockchain, you can have it there. It doesn't have to be for sale. It's there for legacy for your family that this happened. And if everything suddenly disappears and there's no more Wi-Fi, no more anything, well then so be it. But up until then, we want to know the story. So that's really amazing. Do you think that there's a time in a person's creative moment where they have the choice to either like, because some people say usually before someone makes the big leap to what their success, their many years of pursuing this success, they might stop before that happens. They might give up. Like, do you feel that what's that in that moment that a person can help them to just keep going, like you say, like you teach your students? You're my teacher for sure. Keep going. Like, what is that thing in that moment that can stop that negative, the fear there, because you could always stop doing something, but then you pick it up again. You keep going. Music Train is still going since 2022. Happy anniversary, BK.
Happy anniversary, Vessi. Well, I think you just asked a question that I never been really asked before, but I immediately think of one particular fruit, one
Mm-hmm.
fruit, and it's
Mm-hmm.
been, now that you mention it, I think it's really inspiring fruit because you want to guess what fruit is that?
A food?
Yeah, a fruit.
Oh, a fruit. You thought of a fruit when I asked you the question.
Yeah,
Oh gosh, I don't know. You showed me a fruit once, a very rare fruit to me.
comes in green or red. Yeah,
Yeah, are you talking about an apple?
yeah. Think
Okay.
about it. You know that the law of gravity came
Yes.
about because someone was sitting under the apple tree and the apple fell on his head.
Right. Right.
You know who's that?
George Washington.
No, that was that was he cutting down an apple tree or something like that. He was trying to be honest because his dad said, "Did you cut that apple tree?"
So then who did the apple fall on whose head then?
The law of gravity is Newton.
Newton. Okay, now I feel ashamed how uneducated I might seem to everybody right now.
Okay, so then an apple actually, of course, if you go even earlier, okay, apple was in the Bible kind of thing, and then further down the road, the most popular device that changed the world is in the logo of an eaten apple. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's been very inspiring kind of a fruit, and that is
Take
when you know something just hit you, you know, and that apple hit you, and apple hit your face every day. Now I'm using Apple phones since Apple, I mean iPhone 3. I started iPhone 3. Yeah,
Wow. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. I mean, it
yeah,
has
yeah. And
everything you need.
so you're
You
saying that okay, it's not. I don't think that it was trend to have a coach in the old days where a life coach, you only have like
mm,
a swimming coach, a basketball coach, but not a life coach until like probably over the recent years, maybe 10 years, 20 years, you have
mm.
uh, the term coach used in other than training. So it could be
Yeah.
what they call a life coach, spiritual coach, and then now
You're an amazing life coach. You're an amazing mentor. Thank you. If I have a billion thank yous to you. You got me. I don't ever want to quit. Thank you.
well, I guess you need a coach sometime in your life. Okay, and to reward your coach is to be someone else's coach when they need one. Yeah.
All right. I'll remember that. And who was your first coach?
Now that you think about it, my first coach, I remember my first coach was actually an artist that I forgot his name. I was only 6 years old,
Aw.
and I was sent to learn how to do art when I was 6. Okay, and I remember my first lesson. Okay, it was a pencil lessons, how to
Pencil
draw.
pencil pencil drawing.
Imagine 6 year old, he gave me a naked woman to draw.
How did you do? Well,
Okay.
new drawing is that's what people do in art school. So,
Yeah, and I never get it out of my mind ever since.
so how did
Well,
you do? Were you able to draw
it well, and it becomes so good that less than a year, I was banned from learning art.
it?
Because my teacher in school called my dad. He said that BK, his writing is like art. So
Wow.
I was really, I was, my dad sort of stopped me from learning from the artist because my handwriting
Oh.
horrible, you know. So, but then even that, uh, yeah, I don't really need to go to class because I was representing the school in many art competition. So
Amazing.
I was doing drawing outside the classroom while my classmate was studying in the class. I was drawing for competition, and then I won my first sort of a prize drawing competition when I was 9. Okay, and then I continued to do art until when I
Nine. You won your first. Wow.
yeah. So until about 11, 12, that was the important year where we have to take a certain exam to go to the secondary school. That's where all my art sort of stopped until when I go to a
Oh,
technical college, and you know that thing just came back, and I started drawing again, and it's been like healing kind of thing. So I draw when I sort of needed to release stress, and I did. I used to draw a lot. I couldn't draw any human anymore after that first
mm.
experience. I can only draw animal,
Mm.
plants, flowers, anything but human. You know, I can't draw a face of a human then, you know, for many years. Yeah.
I love how you communicate. You communicate through art. I know this about you. We've known each other 3 years now, and you're sending messages constantly, whether people know it or not, through art. You know?
Well, well, if you knew our so-called Roman lettering and all, even the Chinese character came from art, because in the early days the cavemen they couldn't write and they have to
Hmm.
carve symbol on the wall. I mean, not
Hmm.
even on the rock in the cave.
Yeah.
So they sort of draw a dinosaur or a gorilla is like in
Mm.
lines, and those were carving and eventually slowly becoming a character, Roman characters or even the Chinese character, they were like the moon is actually came in the shape of a moon. If you see the Chinese character of the moon, it's actually the moon and the eyes as well. So I got a chance to learn a bit about ancient cryptology, those writing. Yeah, they were really amazing.
It's fascinating. It's fascinating that in the year 2025, everything is going digital. And we have just the other day I was driving, I don't know what's happening to me. I'm glad for all of it. But I looked up, you have a company, you have a platform, community, Metaverse, MGen, right? Metaverse Generation. I mean,
Yep.
I first heard that from you, Metaverse Generation, MGen, and I looked up, and for a moment I thought this is the metaverse, like I literally felt, maybe for 5 seconds, I believed it, that literally that possibly we're in some sort of metaverse, which if we believe in God and God created everything, it would make sense that this is the metaverse. But if you don't know how to handle that kind of, which in the moment I was almost like I got a little bit frightened, like, oh my God, is this real? Like, what does that mean? What does it mean? Like, does it mean like, oh, nothing's real? No, it's more than real. Like it's beyond real. You have no
You,
idea how real it
Leslie,
is. Yeah.
ever that feeling at that moment, if you ever, which you sometimes do, if there's someone next to you, just get that someone to give you a punch.
Yeah, I know. Kane, pull me off just wake up. Wake up, right? Reality is very important to pay attention to. People are lost these days, far going into rabbit holes, believing things that aren't true. People want to be fighting. They want to say this way is right, this way is wrong. All I know is that Music Train has grounded me. Like, it's important to have something that you continue to do. Music has grounded me in general. Writing songs and having something, art has grounded me. Family, these are the important things that we need to talk about, how important they are, so that we remember to hold them in our heart, to know how valuable they are. Friendship, keeping your word, caring about other people. About, the other day, my son was playing with a bunch of his friends on the basketball court, and there was one young man that wasn't part of the group. You could tell he wanted to be part of the group, and I wanted so much to make that connection happen, so he had to feel some sort of brotherhood. He looked, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't take that step. I feel like we need to do that more and more. Bring people together. You're great at bringing people together. You know a lot of people too, all over the world. So many different kinds of people and so many different walks of life and different
You remember?
industries.
Did you remember who is one of the co? I mean, I actually gave him the title of co-founder of NFT 99. Do you remember him? Where was he from?
Is it AK?
Sorry, sorry, no, sorry. He's a Nigerian artist.
A Nigerian artist. Of course, you're going to say
Sorry,
the name. It's been a
a day,
while now.
a day, a
Ade,
day.
Ade Akule. Yeah, of course I know Ade. Yes.
Yeah,
He had Ade in the UK. I think we did an interview. I'm sure I
yeah,
interviewed him
yeah.
on
Right.
Music Train. His NFTs all digitally shown in his house on screens.
Yes, yes. Even as early as those days when VR and AR wasn't that easily available, he was already doing that with a Japanese artist collaboration when he was in Lagos,
He is
Nigeria.
fascinating.
Yeah,
Where is he? What is he doing? How can we get back in touch with him? I want to talk to him. I
he's
forgot
he's
about.
still doing art, and then still I mean he was a little bit he felt bad that he didn't do anything, even though
Mm.
it actually started from him. He said, BK, I mean, I came back from UK, if I'm not wrong. He said, I came back from UK. I'm thinking of just starting out my new gallery in Lagos, and I wanted to bring art to Nigeria.
Ah.
But he couldn't do anything. I say, okay, why don't I just do something for you online, virtually, and we just collaborate. And then boom, within a month I got NFT 99 going, and he was
That's
like,
how it started.
yeah, and then he was like
Wow.
invited on the show, and he was like, I'm the co-founder. Well, that's how, and
That's
he just,
amazing.
yeah, it
Gosh,
wasn't exactly mine, but it was my idea. But it was his request that made me created something just like music.
oh, I love that. I
Yeah,
love that. How do you I'm trying to get his last I want to put his information up here.
a day a collar, is it a dollar or a dollar? Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So guess I'm looking at 100 fans. I don't know why I found this, but Brooke Ganster, Coffee D'Ambrosi, Adam Happy Weiss, Cheryl Bunteri, K-Bot Nexus, Christine Nwala, Eric Jones, Ruler in Peace. We have all these, Ade, Adekola. We've got, so many. Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you. I need to drink some water.
Well,
I'll be
it's
right
basically,
back. I'll be right back. Sorry.
yeah.
I'm back. I know that you probably have to go. I'm so glad we had this little bit of time to talk about,
Improv,
Music
like,
Train.
we planned for this, right? It was like,
We
okay, let's
didn't. Yeah, let's do it. Well, because we should actually always record our conversations. I think we mentioned that before. So you're taking
definitely,
new students, right? You're taking new students to on the
yeah,
AI train.
yeah, correct. So I'm gonna get you on board because we're starting a series of live streaming on TikTok, and then you can come in and then do some
Okay.
song, maybe. Yeah.
I would love to. I would love to do a song for you now before we say goodbye. But I can't think of any words.
No, I like one of the song that you wrote.
Which
Can you
one?
remember the song that I minted the NFT for you? Some,
Is it social?
yeah.
All right,
I
you
love
got
that.
it. Human being. This might be too low for me. Let me get my capo. And then you guys don't forget to subscribe to Music Train. This is a little pop-up exclusive. I think it'd be fun to put these every now and again at the end of an episode. Shout out to Mela B in the house. You just saw that episode. BK and I decided to do this just after meeting with her. What an amazing singer-songwriter. Here we go. Is it in tune? I can't tell. BK, it's not in tune. All right, now it's in tune. All right, this is for you, BK. Here we go. I see your picture, wide eyes, deeply sad. I see your picture, life force, deeply mad. And it's true, I love you, no matter where you go or what you do. And it's true, I'm a fool for you, 'cause you're something special, and I like the way you are. Emotional metal, and you drive long hours in your car. You're something special, and I wonder where you are, where you are. You're something special, BK. Yeah. I feel your life force beaming through like the sun's deep rays. It's like the moon you wouldn't see without the sun's display, and it's true. I love you no matter where you go or what you do, and it's true. I'm a fool for you, you, 'cause you're something special, and I like the way you are. In your hydro motor car, you're a supernova star. Yes, I'm certain that you are, and I like the way you are. In your hydro motor car, you're a supernova star. Yes, I'm certain that you are special. Special, special, you're so special. You're something special, and I like the way you are. In your hydro motor car, you're a supernova star. Yes, I'm certain that you are, and I like the way you are. In your hydro motor car, you're a supernova star. Yes, I'm certain that you are. How'd I do?
Bravo,
Yay!
bravo, I love that.
Thank you. Thank
Do
you.
this more often. Yeah, just sharing maybe as part of the music train movement, and we can go forward. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Sounds good. 2 thumbs up.
2 thumbs up.
Yes, I've been doing this a lot. You taught me that. Don't forget to be the
No,
love.
there's a new symbol I want to teach you today.
Okay.
Is this? Oh, sorry. It's this.
What is that?
What is this?
Sign language.
A.
Is it
A.
AI? Yes. Hold on. Does it, wait. Do I have to do it like this? I think, right? A. Wait.
I. Yeah.
AI.
So yeah, the I is on the opposite side. Then it becomes A. I.
Wait, is this correct or this way?
This no, the other way. Yeah, this right. That's right.
This way?
Just no. It's the other way.
Hold on. Hold on, I'm confused. Hold on. I like that. Right. AI. That we should do it children's. We should do
Did you know
AI.
it was the student that I had? They came from Indonesia. 66 of them flew in from Indonesia to attend my AI class, and they came out with this.
I love it. AI.
So
that's
amazing.
awesome.
They were,
How cool.
It's about coming to a year already. October last year they came. October, yeah.
Well, why don't we bring them on and say hi and talk to them on the next one?
They're all young. The youngest was 15 years old only. They were learning AI.
Wow. AI.
Yeah.
I love it. All right. Okay, I'll see you soon.
See you soon. Bye.
Yes. Bye. AI.